And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the East Brunswick Township Council meeting for September 28th, 2023. Will everyone please rise as we salute our flag with the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of personal reflection. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Township Clerk, please call roll and read our statement of adequate notice.
Councilman Hall? Absent. Councilman Wendell?
Present.
Councilwoman Winston?
Here.
Councilwoman Zambicki? Here. Council President McAvoy?
Here.
Also present, Mayor Brad Cohen? Absent. Administrator Joseph Cuscolo?
Here.
And Township Attorney Anthony Iacoca.
Here.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required under Chapter 231, Public Law, 1975, by specifying the time, date, location, and, to the extent known, the agenda, by posting a copy on the bulletin board located in the main lobby of the East Brunswick Municipal Building, providing a copy to the Home News Tribune and Asbury Park Press newspapers, posting a copy on the Township's website, and by filing a copy in the office of the Township Clerk, which will be entered into the minutes.
Thank you. May I have a motion for Resolution 23-268, adopting our meeting minutes for September 11, 2023?
So moved.
Second?
268?
Did I say 68?
Yes,
Well, what should it read, Councilman Wendell?
because 268 is the Coptic Church, right?
We don't have a,
It is.
268 is correct. The add-on resolution should be 275.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. I'm glad Councilman Wendell picked up on that.
thank you.
We got a motion,
We
and
have a motion, and we need a second.
I'll second it.
Any need for clarification on these minutes? Township Clerk, will you please call roll?
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambicki? Yes. And Council President McAvoy?
Yes.
Thank you.
We have a proclamation recognizing Friends of the Library for their 48th annual bargain book sale event. Councilwoman Winston, will you please read this into the record?
It would be my honor. Whereas the library is one of the township's most valuable resources, bringing knowledge and enjoyment to nearly every resident of our community, and whereas the Friends of the Library support the work of the East Brunswick Public Library through fundraising and other worthwhile programs, and whereas the Friends of the Library hold an annual book sale at the Brunswick Square Mall as a community service for the benefit of the library and its patrons. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Brad J. Cohen, Mayor of the Township of East Brunswick, do hereby proclaim that October 9th through October 15th, 2023, shall be known as Friends Book Sale Week within the community in order to recognize the enormous contribution made by the Friends of the Library and encourage participation to visit the book sale, and be it further proclaimed that Civic Center Drive shall be renamed Book Sale Drive for the week of October 9th through 15, 2023.
Good evening. Are you a representative of the?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. The East Brunswick Friends of the Library annual bargain book sale and media sale begins this year on October 9th in the center court of Brunswick Square Mall. We are celebrating our 48th anniversary this year. The sale continues during the mall hours through Sunday, October 15th. This much anticipated annual sale event features thousands of used artwork, hardcover, and paperback books, including adult, children, large print, and collector's books, as well as audiobooks and a large selection of CDs and DVDs. Everything is bargain priced. We will be having 2 days of family activities. Please check our website for dates and times. The book sale is a great way to fill your home library and stock up on summer reading material. Please make frequent trips to the book sale as we put out material with the help of our high school students and volunteers. The Friends Board works tirelessly to raise funds through their fundraising efforts to support the library and its programs. Please come and volunteer with us and shop for bargain books. You can find more information on the library website regarding the book sale as well as volunteer sign-up sheets. I thank the mayor and the council. On behalf of the Friends Board, please come and support us at the Brunswick Square Mall and help us in our efforts. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We have an ordinance for second reading and public hearing. Township Clerk, could you please read ordinance number 23-26?
A bond ordinance providing for the acquisition of solid waste and recycling containers in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $2,880,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,736,000 in bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof.
Motion to approve.
And a second?
Second.
I'll now open this up to the public. Public can comment on the ordinance and this ordinance only. Seeing none, I will close the public portion. Is there any council discussion? Township Clerk, would you please call roll?
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zimbicki? Yes. And Council President McAvoy?
Yes.
Thank you.
Moving on to our reports, I notice that Mayor Cohn is absent. Mr. Crisculo, our business administrator?
First of all, I'd like to thank you for passing the ordinance this evening and begin the process of purchasing the cans for the solid waste and recycling program, which, as you know, will be needed to effectuate the changes and keep our community clean. Second item, I just want to make mention of Resolution 23-269. If you recall, last meeting, we had a report from our auditor, and we got a clean audit. There was 3 items that were picked out in the audit itself, and what is required by law is to come up with a plan, what's called the corrective action plan, and it has to be submitted to the state. So the resolution that you're passing this evening is actually just going to go over what occurred, the monthly dog report. What was noticed that we weren't submitting these reports in a timely fashion, so our response will implement that and make sure that gets corrected. Some problems with some cash disbursements. There was training classes that were conducted with the department heads and staff to make sure that that doesn't happen in the future. There was no, in particular about this particular cash disbursement, there was no money missing or anything. It's just that internal procedure. They suggested that we do a little bit more training on that, which was done. And then under the budget process, they noted something that happened in 2017, which was actually before Angel was even here. The auditors didn't see it for the last 4 or 5 years, this is not uncommon, that they tested something and then they found this out, and we agreed. It did occur, and it has been rectified. So as part of the state requirement, that resolution is on the agenda for your passage. After that, it will be submitted to the state and we'll be finished with our audit for prior year. So that was the only one item that I think that should have had some explanation before you did vote on it. So I'd like to thank you for allowing me to do so.
Mr. Crisculo and I had spoken about this. It is on the consent agenda, Resolution 269. There was a corrective action plan, but I still believe we still came out with a grade A.
Certainly.
Which is, kudos should be sent back from us through the mayor, through Mr. Crisculo, through Ms. Albanese with regard to the work they did to ensure that our A grading occurs.
True testament to her department. And her.
Exactly. Yes.
I was going to ask Mr. Priscola if he could, we received an email from one of our scouts that is doing a merit badge and had to work on something that he felt was a problem or a concern. And I think it's a great thing to review once in a while, because the issue was potholes and roads. And so I wondered if you would be willing to give a brief explanation of
Sure.
that answer to our scout.
Sure. As the councilwoman spoke upon, we had a question, which we get questions from Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, other organizations, youth in the community, which I think is fantastic that they get involved and seek to understand the process. These young individuals sometime then take that word back to the community and educate their parents and their neighbors to the process. When the council received that, I received a inquiry from the council president for me to craft a response to the individual. And this wasn't done alone. I got some input from Keith Kipp, our Director of Planning and Engineering, who does put together our pavement management program. So I will try to go over this as quickly as possible, but oblige me some time. So the question was about road resurfacing and pothole repairs in East Brunswick. And just so that the residents know, the township has approximately 200 miles of roadway, and it costs about $400,000 to pave a mile of roadway. So you could do some quick math. You could see that in order to pave all 200 miles of roadway is not possible. It's not possible in the amount that we'd have to bond and so on and so forth. But the township does bond between $2 and $2.5 million a year for funding of pavement and pavement replacement programs. So you're paving between 5 and 6 miles a year of roadway. So when you divide that into the 200, it doesn't seem like much, but that's the cost. And we definitely have to be concerned about being fiscally responsible and looking at roadways and so on. The township also receives what is known as TTF funds, Transportation Trust Fund grants, from the state of New Jersey, which goes between $400,000 and $500,000 a year. In particular, in 2023, Tice's Lane from Riders Lane to Eagle Road and Route 18 to Old Bridge Turnpike was repaved with this grant money. Next year, the road that we selected was New Brunswick Avenue, which runs from Ruse Lane near the CVS all the way over to Old Stage Road. So that's the portion of road. The roads that are selected have to meet a certain criteria, and as you can tell, it's got to have a certain amount of driving miles on it, meaning it's got to really meet a criteria, and that's why we picked some of these roads. And in the past, we've used it for Whitehall and several other roads of that nature. The township roads also don't include state roads like Route 18 and Route 1. Those are state highways. We don't get involved with paving them or fixing those potholes, but we may help residents in getting repairs done on those highways. As you recall, probably about 4 years ago, the overpasses on Cranberry Road and Milltown Road and various other roads were terrible. And it wasn't with a lot of effort with us communicating to the state about the condition of them. They probably would have been still in that condition. Mayor Cohen had meetings with state legislative people and even the governor regarding these, and we got them paved. So they're in much better condition. The county roads in town as well we're not responsible for. Those are Riders Lane, Ruse Lane, Main Street, Summerhill Road, Milltown Road, Cranberry Road, and Old Bridge Turnpike. Those are all county roads. We, once again, don't pave them, don't fix the potholes on them. any of those things in nature, but the county takes care of them. And once again, if the resident calls with a problem with a pothole or something on those roadways, we'll phone that in for them. But we also like for the residents to call it right into the county, so they get feedback also back from them when it's completed and so on. But our road paving process starts very early on. A matter of fact, it's starting like now. Starts with the previous year's list of roads that weren't paved due to the cost being greater than the bonded amount in the previous year. As I said, some roads, we try to come up with the actual, how much is it going to cost? So if we allocate 2.5 million at $400,000 a mile of roadway, there's what is known as the gas and oil fluctuation criteria that is allowed to the vendor when the price of crude oil goes up. One of the products in paving is crude oil. So if that goes up, then the cost to us to do a road is more costly. So that's one thing that may have us bump a road off the list, or the curbs are in such bad shape that it won't hold the roadway. So think of a road as the frame on a picture, and we're trying to keep this product inside the frame. And if that curbing starts to crumble and fail, what's going to happen? It's just going to fall apart. So sometimes we have to do a little bit more work there. Sometimes a water main break occurs in a different section of town, and we have to go over there, rip up the roadway, which then may make us take one of the roads that was on our initial list and move it over to there to do the paving. So we take a look at those streets, and those probably are going to be the ones that definitely take place. We evaluate what we call the PCI, the Pavement Condition Index, to elevate poorly ranked streets. So when the roads, we look at them and we rank them. And based upon our experience, we can do that. We review the complaints from residents. We review recommendations from staff with critical input from DPW, who goes out and they repair the potholes. So they know what roads where we should be looking at. At that particular point in time, we take a look and try to group the roadways together. And sometimes people may think, well, this main road and this court, maybe the main road looks a little bit worse, but we like to go from the inside out. So we wouldn't pave that roadway without doing the inner roadway, because if we're going to do that inner roadway in a subsequent year, it doesn't make sense. So like you would paint a room, you do it from the inside and you work your way out. So they evaluate that and work inside to out. Then they look at the critical streets based upon volume of traffic and proximity to schools. So if a roadway is closer to a school, we elevate that, we give that a couple more numbers, because we know then the children may be walking there. So we want to make sure it's safe and it has more traffic. Then we establish a rough cost estimate for the project, and we establish an overall program based upon what we budget or how much we bond for this. And within the next month or so, we're going to be bonding for next year, and we will already be looking at that particular list. At that point, when we think that we have enough money to do the roads that we think should be paved, we'll do a detailed construction estimate and a final list. And then the bid package is created, right? The project goes out to bid publicly under New Jersey public contract law. It sits out there for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then various contractors bid on that construction of that project. It could be one of many paving companies in the state of New Jersey that may bid on doing this particular work. So after it goes out to bid, we receive the bids back in, we evaluate the bids, then the council will award the bid to the lowest responsible bidder based upon local public contract law. And our attorney's here, and if I'm wrong, please smack me. Once it's awarded, we do a pre-construction meeting prior to the project starting. A project plan is created, and then naturally, when the weather allows us, then we can start. We usually do roads that are small courts and so on before school lets out. We don't like to attack the bigger roads while school is in session. So people might say, you know, you did the court, you didn't do the road, that road's on the list, but they may be a high-traffic road, a Jensen and Innis, or whatever. So we will wait, and sometimes you'll see spring break week, all of a sudden, they're coming in like gangbusters and doing a lot of road. So it takes a lot of coordination to get that done. And then people notice that then once school lets out, all the construction is going on. And then at that particular point in time, PSE&G is doing work, and all these other companies are doing work. Why? Because all the stars have aligned. School is out, construction crews can work, the weather is conducive to working outside. So the list of the East Brunswick 2023 road projects are also found on our website, eastbrunswick.org, /458, and road-construction. If you could just go to that department, you could see the list of roads that were done this particular year. I can say we did get through all the roads. So we're happy that, like step one, evaluate the previous list to see if everything was done. In this case, next year, we don't have to worry about that because we actually have done all those roads. Matter of fact, we did a couple additional roads. We replaced internally with our water staff. I believe the road's name is Sheraton, up near Route 18. They replaced the water line internally, our staff, which is a fantastic job for those guys to be able to do that. Usually we contract that out. We've allowed that trench to settle, and that's going to be repaved through the water department's fund. The potholes are repaired by the Department of Public Works. Potholes can be reported by calling 732-390-6884 and giving the exact location of the pothole. You know, you can't just say it's on New Brunswick Ave. Well, New Brunswick Ave is like a mile long, you know, so if you could be specific to where it is, we could then address the problem. Just keep that in mind. This way, they're not driving up and down the street looking for holes. On state roadways, it's pretty simple. You go to the New Jersey DOT website, njdotproblemreporting.com. Click on there, you just put the location in, and if you put your email address and everything else, you could even follow up. It'll give you a tracking number and everything else. For county roads, pretty simple, call 732-940-3800. Tell them where the pothole is, be specific, and then the county road department would attend to it. And naturally, roads that are disturbed by utility companies naturally must be repaired by the utility companies, PSE&G, Jersey Central Power Light, Verizon, Comcast, various cable companies, and they must be repaired to an equal to or better condition. So if they come in, they make a trench, and the road is already 20 years old, they come in, they fix the trench, that is equal to or better. If the road is only 8 years old, let's say, and it's in fairly good condition, they will pave to the center line. They'll pave half the roadway, and if they really destroy it and it's a relatively new road, they have to pave curb to curb. And a lot of times on the residents, you know, we paved Dunham's one year. The next year, PSE&G came in and ripped it all up. Guess what? They had to pave the whole thing all over again, including striping the bike lanes and everything else. And then the following year, guess what they did? they came in and ripped it up again. So the gas department wasn't talking to the electrical department. So when they came in, the first time it was paved by the town, second time it was done by the gas department, part of PSE&G, and then the third year was done by the electrical division, because they ran a huge line from Harts Lane all the way down to South Brunswick, which is great, because we're going to be guaranteed power. But that's what happens. So we hear sometimes that a road's been paved and it's already being paved 2 years later, but you got to be sure who's paving it that second time. That second time, most likely, it's a utility company. I will give this electronically to the clerk so she can memorialize it in the minutes. And naturally, council, you have that in my email that I sent to the young scout. And I'd like to thank you for the time this evening to do that. And Council Vice President Zambecki's suggestion, I hope I didn't take too much time and it's valuable to the public.
And that was your brief response.
You want the long one, we can start now.
Mr. Iacocca, our Township Attorney.
I have nothing to report, Council President.
Township Clerk, Ms. Lawful.
Just two brief items. So we are gearing up for the 2023 general election. The mail-in of mail-in ballots commenced on Saturday, September 23rd, 2023. For those registered to receive a mail-in ballot, as a friendly reminder, there are 3 ways to return your ballot. You can submit your ballot via the U.S. Postal Service. You can drop it off at the Board of Election located at 26B Kennedy Boulevard, or you can drop it off at our drop box located conveniently within the municipal complex by our municipal court and our police department near the parking lot. If you are not registered to vote, October 17th will be the last day to do so. The Middlesex County Board of Elections office will be open until 9 p.m. to accept applications for all new registered voters on October 17th. Once again, the address for the Board of Elections is 26B Kennedy Boulevard. They have moved from 11 Kennedy Boulevard to 26B Kennedy Boulevard. Thank you, and that's all.
Thank you. Council Committee, council reports on any committees or boards.
I do.
Councilwoman Zambicki.
Thank you. Yes, Rex and Park Advisory Board meeting. It was our first meeting since June. First of all, we're excited to celebrate all the honorees at the Sold Out Mayor's Gala on October 17th. Rex and Parks was especially excited to celebrate one of the board members, Howie Alexander, at that. East Brunswick Day is this Sunday from 12 to 4. Please come out to meet all of your community friends. There are over 160 vendors participating. And there's also a food drive being held at this event through Replenish, so please consider participating in that. And EB merchandise, for the first time ever, is going to be sold by our youth council to help them, so that's a great thing. The new playground at Sadowski Park is completed, and it is truly beautiful. Had a chance to go over and look yesterday briefly, and it is definitely top-notch. The next one up is Washington Heights, which is kind of behind the ShopRite on Old Bridge Turnpike. Crystal Springs is closed, obviously, and their last day was Labor Day. Unfortunately, due to the rain, they had to cancel the drool in the pool. But the good part is the initial statistics, they don't have everything completed yet, but shows that this year was almost as successful as last year. And that's impressive considering we did not have the greatest weather this summer. We were interrupted quite a bit by thunderstorms, so that's really exciting. The Chamber of Commerce is hosting their gala on this Wednesday, October 4th. There are still some seats available. Please consider attending. Another great thing, our day camp did amazing this year. One thing that they did discover, the specialty camps were very popular and appreciated. So they were week-long camps like basketball and soccer and different things. They were very, very well attended. If you haven't seen it, it's huge. The new scoreboard at Heavenly Farms is absolutely amazing. Stop by for a game and see it it's so professional. It's truly amazing. And the bleachers on Field B are nearing completion. They poured, it might even be done now. They poured the cement pad last week and waiting for that to dry to put the bleachers on. Heavenly Farms Field C, which is our baseball turf, is near complete and should be done probably by next week. Another exciting thing, which most people don't even know exists, the Riders Lane boat ramp has been renovated, and it is being used by many fishermen and women. It was funded by 50% of the county and 50% of the township. Definitely take a look. It's, off of Riders Lane in that little cute nook as you head towards New Brunswick. A reminder that Beaver Dam Park is closed until May 2024. Another really exciting item, Youth Council received a grant of $92,000 from Lowe's, and this money is going to be used to actually improve the youth center to attract more of our teens to come out and relax in this beautiful environment. The Daisy Tricky Tray date is set for April 6th, so mark your calendars. The East Brunswick Parks and Rec, along with the Arts Commission, is looking for vendors for the Winter Wonderland at the Municipal Building on December 3rd. This year is different than in the past. It's going to be an all-day event starting at 11:30 a.m. and going until 6 p.m. with the annual holiday lighting. Please visit the Township website, Facebook, Instagram for more information. And other events, the Arts Commission is hosting, this sounds really cool, I don't even know how to say it. I think it's Pop-Rapa. It's opera, pop opera, and it's done with your favorite commercials. So opera to your favorite commercials. Really cool. October 6th at 7 p.m. at the Community Arts Center. I'm almost done. Department of Aging is excited to have their new 14-passenger bus that was approved by the council, and also excited to have a new counselor, Nicole Ferrallo, and she's been hired to work with our seniors, and our seniors do continue to enjoy so many festivities at our senior center, which is thriving. Rocking into Fall Dance, trips to Peddler Village, and other concerts. And last, Recs and Parks Advisory Board selected their Friends of Recreation, Parks, and Community Service Award for 2023. The winners will be honored at a future town council meeting, and I think they were talking about possibly November. They were trying to schedule something. So that's what I have. It was a long summer.
Thank you. At this point, we'll hear from the public. Ms. Lawful, will you kindly read our public comment statement?
The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their concerns or comments. In accordance with NJSA 10:4-12A and the East Brunswick Rules of Council, the council asks the public to limit their comments to 5 minutes or less. At the conclusion of the statements or questions from a member of the public, the council president, at his discretion, may choose to respond, not respond, or ask the administration to respond.
Thank you. Is there anyone from the public who would like to address the chair?
Mr. White, students, this is when you have to
Yeah,
do
they,
your
Mr. Criscuolo,
I think they missed it the first
I
time.
spoke with them.
Yeah.
We were not going to let them escape without coming up to the
I
podium.
think they wanted to maybe come up before, and they were a little hesitant.
Now they,
Can you hear me? Yep. Good evening, council members. My name is Daniel, and I'm a student at Rutgers University. So my question is, by borrowing this money, will that drastically increase taxes for next year or no? Because it's 2.7 in bonds or notes.
traditionally, what we do at this particular juncture is that we do not entertain a conversation between the chair and the residents of the community. However, being that you are in Mr. White's class and you are a Rutgers University student, we will respond. And the bottom line is that 24 million or this is for the garbage cans, 2.5 million over a 5-year period is next to nothing with regard to a tax increase or a tax burden on the residents. But a good question nonetheless.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's funny, I was just talking with Donna about when they were coming in, and then here they are.
Good evening. My name is Leo Afuf. I have a question regarding also ordinance number 23-26. As a bond issuance in the amount of $2,736,000, 95% of the appropriated amount, as you said, that amount is not very significant as per the usual. What is the usual amount of it?
$40 million? $50 million? We're talking about a brand-new high school here in East Brunswick, $470 million? Those are big numbers. 2.5, 2.7, when everyone in the community is going to receive 2 new garbage cans for the whole new sanitation program that we are installing, next to nothing.
And out of curiosity, what's the reason for the necessity to acquire new solid waste and recycling containers?
Save money.
We're changing our pickup process.
I see.
It's all financial, how, you can figure, you can try this and try that, study this, look at that, so the bottom line, because garbage collection, huge, huge. In your hometown, as in East Brunswick, so the mayor has a new plan to save the taxpayers some money.
I see. One last question. Is garbage and recycling pickup run by the Department of Sanitation in East Brunswick, or is it contracted out?
Contracted out.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Good evening.
Just so you can bring back to Mr. White's class, I'll be sending Mr. White an email tomorrow and tell him how professional you were as you came to the meeting and spoke at the podium. Would anyone else like to address the chair? Seeing no one else, we will close that portion of the meeting. Moving on to the consent agenda. Does anyone need any resolutions separated? May I have a motion for resolutions 269 through 275? 275? 274?
We're voting on the church separately?
We'll do that separately?
Okay.
272,
Motion to adopt.
second?
Second.
Any discussion? Township Clerk, will you please call roll?
Councilman Bahal?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Nzimbiki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes.
Thank you.
Do we want to do that additional resolution now?
After the ordinance.
After the ordinance, okay. So let's move to an ordinance for introduction. Kindly, Township Clerk, could you kindly read the motion?
Ordinance 23-27, an ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, add in Chapter 97, 911 Emergency System to the ordinances of the Township of East Brunswick.
Motion to adopt.
Any second?
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Crisculo, any comments on that?
This is just to clarify in regard to what the Township Police Department can do if they continually get fraudulent 911 calls, which is a serious offense, and just gives them a little bit more teeth to take action.
Right.
Let's leave it at that. This was given to us by the Department of Public Safety because of some issues that have occurred over the last 3 months.
We can leave it at that. All right. Township Clerk, you call roll?
Councilman Bahal?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Nzimbiki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes. And Resolution 23-268,
275.
275? Township Clerk, would you read and clarify?
Okay, this is a add-on resolution authorizing St. Mary and St. Stephen Coptic Orthodox Church to hold a carnival at its church on October 14th and October 15th, 2023. St. Mary's and St. Stephen Coptic Orthodox Church was granted permission to hold a carnival at their property located at 12 Gates Avenue in East Brunswick from September 23rd through September 24th. This was granted via Resolution 23-259 at our last meeting, September 11th. However, due to inclement weather last weekend, the event had to be canceled. As a result, the church is asking the Township Council to kindly allow them to reschedule the event from September 23rd and September 24th to October 14th and October 15th.
I had received I got into a conversation with the mayor regarding the original date for the carnival, for lack of a better term. And what they failed to put in to the resolution was a rain date. As a result of that, the best, I called Mr. Baker, the attorney. Sorry, Mr. Iacocca, I called Mr. Baker. And he, in a very calm sense, just said, just get another resolution, Council President, and put it on the agenda so that these people can move forward with their annual celebratory event. There's no reason why this should not happen, so this is just legal documentation for us to move forward. And comments?
I'll make a motion to approve.
And a second?
Again.
Township Clerk, would you call roll, please?
Councilman Hall,
Yes.
Councilman Wendell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston,
Yes.
Councilwoman Zimicki, and Council President McAvoy.
Yes.
Thank you.
For the good of the cause?
I have one thing, sir. While I was talking before, I negated to let the public know and the council that the EB Youth Council will be selling some EB swag at the East Brunswick Day to support the endeavors that they get involved in. Any excess from the sale of the property will support their programs. They're going to have baseball hats and sweatshirts, T-shirts, various items that they're going to sell at the event, and also East Brunswick cups. I heard today from them, and they just asked me to make sure that I gave them a shout out this evening regarding those items, and hopefully the community will support our youth council and all the endeavors that they do.
Thank you, Mr. Criscuolo. Councilwoman Winston?
Thank you, Council President. To kind of echo what Councilwoman Zimicki was talking about East Brunswick Day this Sunday, October 1st, the East Brunswick Arts Coalition is doing something it's never done before, and they are hosting a gallery show for all of the East Brunswick, a select number of East Brunswick residents. These works of art will be for sale. They'll be located in the gallery in the building. And I just wanted to talk about, these are residents of our town. They are hardworking, dedicated, and very accomplished artists. Ayelet Ben-Zvi is an extraordinary pottery artist. Michael Connors does portraiture that's incredible. Kevin Lynn is going to showcase photography. Jean Javi is a pyro artist where she uses fire to create designs. Bijala Paul will be there, and Olga Furman, whose portraits have been showcased in Times Square on the screens, and she's represented by Kessler Hotels. She's represented, and she's kind of a local big deal. So please, if you're around, if you're going to be there, please stop in, support our local artists. They will really appreciate it.
Councilwoman Winston, will some of your work be displayed?
Yes, but humbly,
That's why
yes, I'll be there.
Thank you. Great.
Thank you.
Beginning on September 26th, members of the State of New Jersey Community Outreach Team will be going door to door in East Brunswick and throughout the state to assist homeowners in completing the necessary application for the Anchor Property Tax Relief Program. I guess there's been a lack of communication with regard to how this program is playing out in not only the township, but throughout the state. Members will be credited with identification badges and will wear blue safety vests. Homeowners and vendors may be eligible for tax relief by completing an application. All answers are confidential. The teams will arrive between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. If you filed last year, you have already received an Anchor benefit confirmation letter in the mail. Benefits will be distributed by November 1, 2023. The Anchor Benefits Program applies to New Jersey residents who are 65 years or older as of December 31st, 2020. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
On a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye.